Hey, I'm Kelly. If you love cars as much as I do, you're in the right place. From drifting car days to uncovering the world's most iconic rides. Gear up and subscribe to Drive with Kelly for non-stop car fun. Today we'll be taking a look at what we consider to be the top 10 finest vintage German motorcycles. Let us know if we've missed any, as I'm sure it will be controversial. So racers, start your engines and let's go riding on these awesome machines. At number 10, the 1967 BMW R62. This is one of our favorite vintage motorcycles. It may not be a speed demon, but it is a reliable workhorse. These bikes were made from 1960 to 1969. BMWs of this era were probably the best touring bikes available at the time. Many accessories were available, including fairings, oversized fuel tanks, and luggage. Countless miles have been put on the R62, and they just keep going. The shaft final drive was quite unusual for its day, though not uncommon today. Parts availability for these motorcycles is generally good compared to more rare machines. These bikes are not too difficult to find today, so keep your eyes open. At number 9, the Zündapp KS 750. Zündapp was a major motorcycle manufacturer in Germany, and this is considered to be the zenith of their production. After the war, they switched to mostly smaller and interesting designs. These bikes entered production in 1940 and nearly 18,000 were produced. They featured sidecars with driving wheels and a locking differential, giving true two-wheel drive when supplied to the Wehrmacht. These bikes had a flat twin engine and featured drive shafts. At number 8, the NSU Fox. NSU was a giant in the motorcycle industry in the 1950s. For a time, they were the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world. They had considerable success with racing in the 50s, especially the Isle of Man TT races. They set many records and were highly regarded. The Fox isn't a super fast racing bike. It's a small city bike with a 98cc four-stroke engine and was known for being reliable. At number 7, the Neander P3. The Neander is a very rare bike. The company only produced around 2,000 of them. It was a very futuristic bike for its day and in my opinion is one of the most arresting looking bikes I've ever seen. The company was formed in 1926 and ceased production sometime in the 1930s. The frame was of a very unusual design, being constructed of box duralumin. It also featured an innovative pivot on the fork. At number 6, the Horex Imperator. Horex was a fairly obscure motorcycle maker. The Imperator featured a 500cc parallel twin with an overhead cam, not a common setup for the 1950s. As far as we can tell, the Imperator was in production from 1951 until 1960, when Daimler-Benz took the company over and halted production. These days, the Imperator is one of the most sought-after Horex models. At number 5, the BMW 5 Series. The line of BMWs, commonly known as 5s, is legendary. These are some of the most dependable bikes ever made, with many having hundreds of thousands of miles on them. They came into production in 1970 and stayed until 1973 when the 6 appeared. These bikes were far more modern than the 2s they replaced. They featured 12-volt electrics, electric starters, and telescopic forks. The R75 fifths was the fastest production bike available at the time, with a top speed of 110 miles per hour. These bikes were all produced in the Spandau suburb of Berlin, where BMW relocated all motorcycle production from Munich in the late 1960s. At number 4, the BMW R90s. For those who don't know, the R90s is one badass bike. They are considered to be one of the first super bikes. While the performance would be considered mild by today's standards, these bikes were incredible in their day. The top speed was 120 miles per hour, and with a few accessories like panniers and racks, they made competent touring bikes. They also featured distinctive two-tone paint jobs, with no two being exactly the same. These bikes were made from 1973 to 1976. At number 3, the Hercules W2000. We only became familiar with this rare bike a little while ago. It almost looks like a typical 1970s Japanese bike until you get to the motor. It is the only rotary-powered bike I have ever come across, and that is good enough to get it on this list. It features a single-rotor, air-cooled 294cc rotary engine. Horsepower was only 25 or 27, depending on the model year. From 1974 and 1975, engine lubrication was done by manually adding oil to the fuel tank, but from 1976 on, there was a separate oil tank with a pump. What a curiosity. At number 2, the DKW RT 125. This particular motorcycle is interesting because of its history. It started production in the 1930s and continued in one form or another to be built in Germany until the 1960s. As part of reparations after World War II, the drawings and some tooling were distributed among the Allies. Harley-Davidson modified the design in the US into what became the Harley-Davidson Hummer. In the UK, BSA turned it into the Bantam. The Soviet Union also produced a version. DKW also developed the Schnurl two-stroke loop scavenging process, which made the deflection piston unnecessary, and also developed a very good design for the transfer ports. And today's number 1 is the legendary BMW R32. These bikes are extremely rare today. This was the first motorcycle made under the BMW name. It was the beginning of the legendary Boxer twin-engine and shaft drive layout that is still going strong on BMWs today. These bikes were only made from 1923 to 1926, so there are very few people living that have had the pleasure of riding one. The bike was fairly advanced for its day, using a wet sump lubrication system, while most others had the archaic total loss system still in place. It had a rather large 486cc engine for the time that put out 8.5 horses, which may not sound like much, but was good enough for 59 miles per hour and 78 mpg. So there it is, my top 10 German vintage motorcycles. If you think this video was great, you need to see top 15 90s super bikes that have been forgotten but still beat the modern innovation popped up on your upper left of the screen.